Hey guys, Mark Holthe here, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and former high school teacher. I am back. I want to apologize for missing the EE Live Q&A last Tuesday, but I will be back again next Tuesday at noon answering your questions about Express Entry. I had to take advantage of one last week down in beautiful Whitefish, Montana with my family before our short summer came to an end. So I made the decision that I wouldn't be doing the EE Live Q&A, but I think it was worth it given the fact it was the last little bit of time I was able to spend with my family before things start to get busy once again. And I don't know about your households, but here in the Holthe household, come September, kids start football and music lessons and everything else. And then Mark and his dear wife, Deanna, end up chasing our kids all over the country, attending lessons and school activities and homework and everything else. So, as we say here in Alberta, we had to make hay while the sun shone, which basically means we had to take advantage of the nice weather before it disappears. So, at any rate, that is what's going on in our lovely lives here. I wanted to let everybody know that tomorrow at midnight is the last opportunity that you will have for the balance of this year to take advantage of the 60% off lifetime access. And I'm going to pull this up here so that you guys can see this. This is the last opportunity that you're going to have to take advantage of lifetime access to my do-it-yourself guide. And there were a ton of people who took advantage of it earlier. But then I got all these emails back from people saying we didn't know what was happening. And so I ended up having to extend it because I didn't want anyone to miss out on the opportunity. So you have until tomorrow to access it. All you have to do is go to the CanadianImmigrationInstitute.com website, type in the access code or the coupon code EEDIY August 60, and that will give you access to it at a fraction of the cost that normally the course is offered. So I see I've got a few live people that are on here, and I love it when people tune in live, especially when I just jump on. But I wanted to let everybody know about that deal coming to an end. But I've got a few minutes here to kill. So those of you who are on, who just happen to be tuning in live, I'm going to take a few minutes to answer some questions just because I feel like it. And August was a good month, and I had time to spend with my family. I was able to go up to northern Alberta and do a horse clinic with my horse Joe, and all of you awesome people who have booked consults and retained our firm. It was a good month for me. And so when that happens, I just want to give back. So a few people are watching and they've since dropped off, but there's a few other people that are live. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer, you can post them right now and I'll see if I can actually pull up the live video here. And I'm going to turn the volume down because that's always fun. So let's see. If you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer regarding Express Entry, now's the time to do it. So just post your comments and let me know. A couple other things I wanted to share with you guys while we're waiting for people to post their questions about Express Entry. I had the opportunity today to hop on my bike because I rode my bike to work today and pedal over to the hospital. And sometimes these issues come up. And in the hospital, there was a man who had been in Canada for a long time who had a successful refugee claim that was approved a number of years ago. But for whatever reason, this individual just never submitted their permanent resident application that you need to do after you obtain approval of your refugee claim. And so now, unfortunately, he's gone through some really bad times. And he has been here in Canada working on work permits. But what's happened now is he's actually undergoing cancer treatment. And to make all matters worse, a year ago, he had all of his documents stolen. His work permit, his passport, everything. And it has taken him all of this time just to get a new passport back. So what's happened in that time? Well, he couldn't extend his work permit. His Alberta health coverage, which foreign workers in Alberta are eligible for, that expired. His driver's license expired. His social insurance number expired. And so all of this happened to this individual. He has no money. His coverage with the hospital is running out, and he needed help. So I hopped on my bike and I rode over there. And in the end, some of the awesome doctors in the hospital are looking at trying to find ways to help him and to cover his legal costs and everything else. Well, the reality, I may very well just do it pro bono, just for free, just to help him. But that was what I had today. So I went and met with him, and it was really sad. And we're hopeful that the cancer treatments are going to work. But, sometimes bad luck just falls on people through no fault of their own. And that's what happened to this fine man. And so he has no family, no friends, nothing here. And he's been in the hospital receiving treatments for quite a while. But the opportunity to help him was there. So I forgot I had the appointment over there. And so I ended up popping on, with, I'll show you guys. So I put my, I put my coat on like this, and I don't have my helmet here, but I put my coat on, and then I got my nice red backpack here that I usually stuff my stuff in. I put my my good shoes on, and oh, sorry, you can't even see me here. So I put my, just bear with it for a second. Okay, be right back. I'm going to be right back, guys. I'm going to grab something here. Okay, there. Now I'm back. Sorry. So I put my all my stuff, my good shoes. I put my bike shoes on. I put my good shoes in this bag right here, and threw it on my back. And I rode over to the hospital. Sorry, it's a little bit crazy. I got lots going on here. Anyways, so I rode over to the hospital and gave a consult to this guy. So, anyways, it was crazy. Yes. So before I get to the first question, one other thing I'll tell you is that I will turn 46 this year. 46. And what comes with that? Well, what comes with that is an inability to actually read small, you probably can't even see it here. Whatever. An inability to actually see the fine print on the sheets, the information that you guys send me. So I've got these contacts, and my optometrist showed me about these multifocal contact lenses that allow me to be able to see up close and at a distance, because I'm pretty blind. Well, these new contacts that I got, I still can't see anything. So what I did for the first time, it made me laugh. This is how I knew I was actually getting old. I had to get some of these glasses here so that I could read the fine print. So now I'm feeling like I'm really old, right? Like the old guys, they like have their bifocals or whatever. They put their glasses on, and then they stick them in their inside jacket. And then if they need to read something, they're like this. They're like reading a little bit. Okay, let's see what this say. Yes. And then they take it off to talk to people. So anyways, it's quite hilarious. I'm adjusting to these, and hopefully I'll be able to go back to my optometrist, who's a good friend of mine, and he'll be able to hook me up with something that's actually going to work. Anyways, okay, so back to question number 1, and it looks like who do we have here? So Sumeta says here, "Hi, I'm working as a quality control tech. My 1 year completes on October the 30th. And my open work permit expires on November the 14th. Could you please help me out with this situation? Thanks in advance." So October the 30th is when the 1 year is completed, and the open work permit expires on November the 14th. Okay, so the first question I'm going to ask is that slacker employer of yours, Sumedh, going to support you in trying to get a labor market impact assessment? So that's the first thing, because you need to buy as much time as possible. The second thing, if your time is actually running out, is that how many comprehensive ranking system points are you going to have? So there is an outside chance, a remote chance, that by the time you meet the 1 year on October the 30th, that you may be able to have everything ready, submit your EAPR, well, basically get your profile in. There may be enough time in that 14-day period for you to be able to get an invitation to apply if there's an actual draw on that in that time period. And then you quickly upload everything as fast as you can. You complete your EAPR and then you submit it. The moment you submit it, within a couple minutes, you'll get a confirmation back. And then you can use that confirmation to apply for a bridging open work permit. So, Sumedh, if you want to set up a consult and talk to me, we might be able to fix it. But obviously, the best thing in the world is for you to talk to your employer and see if they're willing to apply for a labor market impact assessment for you. Okay, Sumedh says 451 points, and I don't think the company will sponsor me. Yeah, I know, because they suck. Okay, I'll let that go. But there's nothing worse than a company who will just use you on your postgrad and then are too lazy or uninterested in actually supporting good workers like you to become more full-time permanent employees of the company. So it is what it is, Sumedh. But if you have to rely on your permanent residence to go through, then you may want to consider just setting up a paid consultation with me and I can walk you through the strategy. But there might be time if you're lucky. But there's a whole bunch of other factors at play here. And I'm happy to go over it with you, but this is definitely legal advice. Okay, good question. Okay, Ekant here says, I'm self-employed. Can I apply and how? Okay, well, yeah, there's no restrictions with self-employment, Ekant. If you are trying to claim Canadian work experience, then yes, you're not going to be able to do it if you are claiming self-employed work experience. But outside of Canada, you can do it. You just have to prove all of those things that the government wants to see. And I will, right here, I'll post a link for you. Let's see if I can pull this up. I'm going to pull up my screen here. There is, I'm going to type in here on my screen. It's called the completeness check. And many of you that have been long-term followers of the Express Entry Law Facebook group will be familiar with this, but I'm just going to post a link here. Let's see if I can do it. Actually, I've got a lot going on here, namely a screen that's pretty full. Okay, I'm going to post it in here. So this big honkin' link that I just posted, Ekant, is the place. So now I'm going to share my screen with you fine people, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So, boy, I'm getting a notification here to install a new system. So I'm going to cancel that for now. Okay, so now you can see this page right here. If you go, the real issue is work experience. So if you go to work experience, you have to be able to prove it. So how do you do it? Well, we're going to go to work. Okay, hang tight here. I guess I jumped the gun a little bit. Let's go back and try again. So control find, there we go. And then we're going to type in work experience. So on this, and I'm going to blow this up as big as the whole screen. And I think you can still see, even though my ugly mug is still stuck on the screen here for you. So if you go to work experience, actually, I'm going to find this again. There it is. You'll see here that there's specific instructions as to what you do if you're self-employed, and they're right here. So you have to prove that you're actually self-employed, that you have a business. So articles of incorporation, if it's an actual registered business, or some other evidence that you actually own the business. That's the first thing. Then you need to provide evidence that you've actually earned income. So some people don't make any profits. They don't make any income. So you have to be paid for the work that you do. So evidence of that income is really important. And then you can also include documentation from any people that have actually used your services. So for example, if you're an orthodontist or you're a dentist or you're even a lawyer, you will have clients that you will provide services to and they will pay you. So copies of those records showing invoices that you've paid, that you've given to the client for services rendered, and then them paying you for those services, that's what you're looking for. But the key here is to remember that self-declared main duties or affidavits are just not acceptable as proof of self-employment. So there's a whole bunch of things that you can do with self-employment, which I can't include here in just a short little video where I'm talking about express entry on a live Facebook video. But that's the source. And then the question that you probably have is, okay, well, what do I need to actually prove? So I'm going to pull up another link here and I'm going to provide this in the comment section as well for you guys. This is actually, I'm starting to learn a little bit better. So here is another link and I'm going to show you this page right here. And these are the requirements that you need to qualify through the Federal Skilled Worker Program. And I think everybody should be able to hear me. I keep getting this notification to update the audio settings on my Ecamm Live software that I'm using to record these videos. But I just wanted to show here. So here are the program requirements. And this is really what you're trying to prove. So when it comes to the selection factors, you need to show that you've met these 67 points. That's great. But up here at the top, let's just pull this up. Okay, so there's the selection factors. And then you need to show that you have at least a minimum of 1 year of skilled work experience. So it has to be in the same type of job within the past 10 years. It has to be paid, which we talked about. And if we scroll down a little bit more, 1 year continuous work is the equivalent of 1,560 hours or 30 hours per week. So that's basically what you're looking at. And so when you're trying to claim your self-employed work experience, you're going to try to meet these requirements. So hopefully that helped. All right, let's see if we have any other questions here. Okay, Razi says, I got my PR April 2018. Awesome, congratulations. How long should I wait to apply for citizenship? Well, understand that if you're currently living in Canada, it's 3 years. So unless you have obtained prior status as a foreign worker or a student for that matter, but you've actually been present in Canada in valid temporary status, if you have that, you can count every full day as a half day towards your citizenship. But when it comes to you applying, if you just immigrated directly to Canada and you have never left, then you just need to show that you have spent 3 years, and I think it's I can't remember, 5 or 6 year period. I think it's 5 years, but 3 years physically present in Canada to be eligible for citizenship. And there's a residency calculator and everything that you've got. And so if we go here, I'm going to put here, citizenship, CIC. I am going to provide you with a link. Okay, so this is the best link for citizenship. And I'll just stick that on there. There's a good link. So you can just access that link that I just posted below. And that will give you all of the instructions on how to apply and eligibility requirements. Now, there's one caveat. These are the rules as of today, not 3 years down the road when you might qualify. So hopefully that answers your question. And it wasn't exactly express entry, but hey, it's awesome to see alumni like you, Razia, that come on and still frequent the Express Entry Law Facebook group. And yeah, I consider you a graduate of the Express Entry Law group. So welcome, welcome. All right, let's see. I've got time for a few more questions. Okay, let's see here. Do, 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 do. Okay, hopefully it's showing all of them. I think I got all the comments here. Mohammed says, hello, sir. Hi. Emmanuel says, hi. Razia says, thank you. You're very welcome. And this was just kind of an impromptu little Q&A that I wanted to do. And I know that no one was really advised that I was going to do this. I was just jumping on. But I thought that the circumstances were right. And you can see in the description of the video that I just wanted to let people know that this right here, if I can get it on the right location here, there it is. This right here is going to be coming to an end tomorrow. And so if you want to access lifetime access to my Express Entry Do-It-Yourself guide, you need to take advantage of it now. And it's basically about $300 off. So it's regular $497 US. And if you use the access code EEDIY August 60, then you can get it for just under $200 US. And that's lifetime access, which I actually love because those who subscribe on a monthly basis, you're paying $97 a month. But then some people, well, actually, there was only one person really that didn't realize that it was automatically renewed and then came back and said, oh, I didn't realize that it was automatically renewed, and then wanted their money back. And so it's almost better for me. I love it when you actually just buy the lifetime access because then no one has to worry about it. You have automatic access for as long as you need it. And yeah, so that's coming to an end tomorrow at midnight. So just a little reminder for those who've jumped on a little bit later. Okay, let's see if there's a few other questions. And then as you can see outside, if I kind of turn this, you can see outside that it is starting to get a little bit darker. And that's what happens here. The sun starts to set. It's about 7:37 p.m. I keep forgetting this mic drifts off. So it's a little bit darker outside, 7:37 p.m. and the sun is starting to go down. And I'm not sure if you can see it. I've actually put, I've decorated my office a little bit, but back there, I don't know if you can see it. I can't really zoom in. But back by that box in the back corner, I can't even really indicate. Let's see here. You should be able to see my bike that is waiting there for me to hop on and ride back. So I want to do that before it gets too dark. So anyway, if anyone has a few more questions, I can take some time to answer those quick, and then we'll call her quits. Imad says it's 6:30 in Pakistan. Cool. Awesome. A little bit better than than midnight, but 6:30 a.m. is really early too. So I completely understand that. Okay, so Emmanuel says, I have only 1 year of experience. Am I eligible to apply? Am I eligible to apply for an Express Entry? Well, Emmanuel, it has to be skilled work experience. And that 1 year has to be paid, just like I indicated, with a minimum of 1,560 hours of skilled work experience. Okay. And so that's the situation. So you may be eligible. There are obviously other factors that wouldn't allow me to say with 100% degree of certainty, because with the Federal Skilled Worker Program, you still have to meet the 67-point threshold. And really, if you're overseas, you pretty much need a master's degree, very high English, at least an 8.777, so 8 in listening and 7 in the other abilities, and almost higher for all intents and purposes. And you can't be too old, pretty much under 30. So those are the guidelines now, unless you actually are studying in Canada or you have work experience in Canada. So, all right, that's that. So Razia says, if you get the PR through the provincial nomination, how long do you have to wait to move to another province? Razia, just like I answer everybody else, if you got a PNP nomination in one province, if I was your lawyer, I would tell you to never, ever move, because I can tell you that the province would be super ticked if they showed faith in you and gave you a nomination. Actually, I got to brighten up my camera here. It's getting dark out. Let's see if I can brighten it up a bit so you can see me. Guys can see me a little better. Okay, well, there's a little bit better. Anyways, the reality is with PNPs, if you're getting a nomination, then I don't think it's fair for you to move to another province. Obviously, if you can't find a job and you're destitute and things are not going good, then sure, maybe you consider that. But if a province is showing faith in you, well, I think it's not even fair to the province if you land there and then are already looking to move somewhere else. And that's, in all honesty, because people don't stay in the provinces. That's why they don't open up any categories for people to immigrate directly without having some form of contact or some tie to that province. So people are wondering, why did the PNPs not open things up so that more people can immigrate directly? It's because you guys don't stay. You just use it as a tool to get to Canada and then you're off somewhere else. There's a reason that Prince Edward Island or New Brunswick or Nova Scotia or Saskatchewan, for that matter, have programs that allow people to apply without having a direct contact within that province. It's because people don't usually want to live there. And so the provinces use the PNPs to bring in people that are skilled, educated, wonderful people to help make the province better, to start businesses, to help with the economy, to literally benefit the province. Whereas normally they would just go to Montreal or they'd go to Toronto or Vancouver. So that's my long lecture that I'm giving you. Okay. So that's the lecture that I'm giving to Razia. But the reality is, when you land in a province and you fully intend to live there, if you choose to go, 2 weeks after landing there, something comes up and you decide to move somewhere else, there's no law that prohibits you from moving to another province, even if you're nominated by one of the provincial nominee programs. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms in Canada allows for permanent residents and citizens to have freedom of mobility. So you're not locked into living only in one province. But from an ethical standpoint and everything that I believe in, those nominations are sacred. Those are so rare. And it's so important for you to honor it and do all you can to be able to fulfill that commitment that you made to that province for showing faith in you. Because but for that province, you may never have been able to immigrate. And there are thousands, maybe tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people that would give anything for that spot, anything for that nomination. So there's my spiel with the various PNPs. And all of you crooked agents out there, immigration consultants that tell people to just use the PNPs and then you can move wherever you want, shame on you. I wish you no longer had a license to practice any kind of immigration and to get paid to represent people. I have no respect for you for advising people to just use the PNPs to get to Canada and then you can live wherever you want. So shame on you. Okay, that's my rant for today. All right. Okay. Let's see what Razia said. Wanted to move from Nova Scotia to Ottawa for school purposes. Okay. And that's fair, Razia. If you have a justifiable reason, go to school and then go back to Nova Scotia after. Take that education and use it to benefit Nova Scotia. Okay. And just to clarify, Razia, I'm not saying that you are in any way exploiting the nomination that you have or the opportunity that you've been given. So I don't want you to feel that way in any way, because you're obviously living there now and that's wonderful. And yeah, if school comes up, that's a good reason. All right. Imad here says, if someone is married to a Canadian national and gets a permanent resident herself, then can they apply for their parents? Well, the rules for parental sponsorship require you to be able to show that you have paid at least 3 years of taxes in Canada. So you have to be able to show at the start that you have 3 years of Canadian notices of assessment, because you need to provide those for the purposes of sponsorship. But you also need to meet the minimum income threshold. And you can use a combination of yourself and your spouse's income. So technically speaking, if your spouse has earned enough income on their own and they're a citizen, obviously they've been paying taxes for at least 3 years, then maybe their income alone might work. But yeah, so you can, but that's one of the requirements. Okay. Emmanuel says, you're generous and doing a wonderful thing. A great salute for you. Emmanuel, thank you, my friend. All right. Razia, I've been here since 2014 as a student, got my PR April 2018. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, Bella joined. Hey, Bella. Hi. I am going up to Edmonton to see Bella on September the 15th. I am so excited, Bella. And Ralph has joined as well. Oh, you're awesome. Bella says, awesome rant. Hello. Okay, there's Ralph. So I'm going to see Bella and Ralph, two of my favorite, just like family people in the history of the world. And Bella's son, Jaden, is going to have basically, he's already turned 1, but they're having a big party for him, and I am going to be there, and I am super excited. It is going to be so awesome. So, looking forward to it, Bella. Super excited. All right. Okay, next question. And maybe we'll close off at this. So Razia said, thank you so much for your help. You're very welcome, Razia. So we'll close off with Mohammed here. So Mohammed says, sir, what is the minimum CRS score required for Ontario? I have a master's degree in computer applications and almost 3 years of experience with my current organization. As an application support engineer, I speak French as well. Please guide on this score required for IELTS and TEF. Okay, Mohammed, you're asking 100 different things, my friend. So when it comes to Ontario, you've seen the last expressions of interest that they sent out were right around, the low 430s. So we don't know what the future is going to hold, but realistically, if they do decide to do another round of invitations, I guess you could say, or to send you an expression of interest in you joining and applying through the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, if that does happen, it's probably going to be above 430. I don't know for certain. But when you factor in everything else, high IELTS score, a TEF score, maybe you qualify through the general provisions of Express Entry. It just depends. I suspect that your age is probably a little bit higher. But if you have almost 3 years of work experience with your current organization, well, maybe, if that's all the work experience you have, you definitely want to have at least 3. But aside from that, yeah, keep all your options open. All right. And Sam gave me a heart. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. One of my faithful moderators who does an awesome job of supporting what I'm trying to do here. And I've got a group of fantastic moderators that help. Okay, Bella says, yay, can't wait to see you. Hugs. You bet, Bella. It's going to be awesome. And I can't wait to hold Jaden. It's going to be fantastic. This is a long time coming. Okay, Sanjeev says, hi. Hi, Sanjeev. Ashley says, hi, Mark. Can we create our own Express Entry with this guide? Of course. Guys, the whole purpose for me creating this thing, and I'm going to pull this one up here and stick it right on the screen. The whole purpose, guys, of not that one. That's not the right one. Where is it? Right here, this one. The whole purpose of this little guide right here is so that you can do it yourself. You don't need to hire me. You don't need to hire any agent over there that's trying to steal your money and give you no help or guidance. Understand, this is a complete step-by-step guide to doing it yourself. Everything from the beginning of how to register for your MyCIC account. Okay. It's crazy because this stuff, I just have to explain it over and over because people just don't see it. So I'm just going to go in quick right here, and I'm going to go to my guide right here, and I'm going to cancel that. Okay. And I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see it. And I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to log in. Wait a minute. Why is it asking me to log in? Okay. Let's see if it works. Seriously, look at this. See, this is secure, man. This is secure. Okay, I don't need to do this. I'm going to confirm this. Let's see. Actually, no. You guys don't need to see all that. I'm going to go in again, and I am going to back up. I don't need this. All I need to do is go back to the CanadianImmigrationInstitute.com, and then this is fine. So right here, you'll be able to see the majority of it. But guys, look at this. So right from the beginning, learning the basics. What is it? What is Express Entry? How the comprehensive ranking system works. Preparing to submit your Express Entry profile. So this is before you even start. The top 5 things you should do. How to register for your MyCIC account. I better make sure, yes, I am showing this to you. Are you eligible even? So this helps you to know if you're eligible or not. And if you're not, I give tips and strategies on how to increase your chances of success. And then I go here, completing your Express Entry profile, everything, including each of the sections, if you're single, if you're married, and then how to submit it. And then down here, I cover a section, how to register with the job bank, which these days really doesn't add much because it's useless. But understanding what your profile page actually says, how to update your profile if you need to make changes, and then what receiving your ITA is all about, what it looks like, what to expect. Then how to submit your EAPR. So completing the first eligibility section again. What is the home screen telling you? And then each of the individual sections again, as a principal applicant, everything from the personal details, and every one of these is linked specifically to each of the sections within your actual Express Entry online portal. And so language details, your application, work history, personal history, all these things. And then what if you've got a spouse? Or what if you have dependent children? I've covered those off. And then the document checklist, which is probably the most popular section. And you can see that section alone for the principal applicant, I spent over 20 minutes explaining it. And there's tons of other good stuff inside there. And then uploading your documents. And what if Express Entry gives you a request for further information? Well, this is how you do it. So all of this is all set out in detail that's designed to walk you through step by step when you know nothing about Express Entry. And then last but not least, a whole bunch of information here on just tons of different topics. Just everything you could imagine, my very, very best content. And this is just a sample of all of the questions and answers that people ask. There's even more here. But I recently went in and updated the Q&A section right here at the end with 15 of my very best video content. So there we go. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm doing. But this whole guide was created to help people so they wouldn't have to trust some crooked agent overseas that's just exploiting. So there you go. I think that pretty much covers it. Okay, so Ashley, there you go. Hope that's helpful for you. And actually what I might do here is, well, you can just click on the link in the description for this video. If you just click on it, the link is right there. And let's just see here. I'll just put it in, copy it. Now that I figured out this, I'm going to reply right to Aishi, and there is the link right for you, this specific link. Okay, great. Now I'm going to go back here, and I took a little bit of a rant there, but let's see. Okay, Yusuf says, I'm 30 years old. Okay, you're in the good range. Thank you very much. Muhammad says, you're very welcome. Aishi says, 26, master's degree, thinking to accompany my spouse. What is the chances if I don't get 8777? If you're accompanying your spouse, well, it's not as big a deal as if your spouse is accompanying you. But without an 8777, you don't even have a chance. Not even worth applying. Okay, Aishi says, wow, so I'm interested to purchase. What should I need to do? I don't want to go to consultancy. Aishi, I didn't mean to make this about a do-it-yourself kind of thing. But you go to the link, you click on the link that I just sent you, and I'll open my screen again. And then in here, once you're here, it'll take you to this. You click on Enroll in Course, and then one-time purchase, lifetime access. You're going to click on Enroll here. And then when you click on Enroll, it will bring up this screen. And you can see regular, it's $497 US. Right here is a little link, and I'll blow this up so you can see it bigger. It says add a coupon. So you're going to click on here and you're going to type in EEDIY August 60. So EEDIY AUGUST 60 and click apply. When you click that, it takes off $300 basically. So lifetime access is only $198.80. And then you basically just fill in your information here, email address and your name, and then whether you want to pay via credit card or PayPal. And it's as simple as that. So I hope that helped. I hoped it was informative. I'm going to go back here and shift back to the questions. I think that just about covers it, guys. I think we're just about done. Okay, Pinakin, I'll answer yours. And then I've really got to get outside because it's getting dark out there, guys, and I'm going to lose my sunlight. And I forgot to put new batteries. In this right here, which is it's my headlamp for my bike. And so it's not working, I don't think. Oh, look at this. I've got a little bit working, but I know that this will die in about 2 seconds. So, so I can't rely on that if I'm biking back. Okay, so let me just go here. So Pinakin, could you take a last question? Yes, I will, sir. My spouse is a principal applicant and we have received an acknowledgement of receipt on June 2018. Great. We have received MEP update. Meanwhile, the organization where she works has been acquired by another organization. Will this impact the background verification process? Should I inform CIC about this? Pinakin, no. I would not worry about it at all. If there is a request for further information, then you can provide it. Because understand, what you are asking the government to examine is your work experience from the date you clicked submit, not the time after. So the reference letters that you've included from the current employer that your spouse has is backward looking. So it's providing background. Now, it would be a little different if you were in Canada and had a job offer from a company that was being acquired. But if they came back and had questions for you, then at that stage, you could provide that explanation. But at this stage, I wouldn't worry about it. There's a whole host of different issues that arise. Yes, they will need, they may choose to call and ask questions, but the reality is they don't always do that unless they have to have a need for. And if your company is being acquired, that tells me they're a larger company probably. And ultimately, the nuances associated to an acquisition, it could be a share sale, it could be an asset purchase, and there's a whole different, it could be an amalgamation, it could be a whole bunch of different configurations. So you don't know exactly how everything is going to play out. And the people that are now acquiring are not in place yet. So I wouldn't worry about it. But that's a pretty good question. I haven't had that one before. But as a business lawyer as well, this is one of the differences between hiring a consultant and a lawyer is I also understand the complexities of business law. And in fact, one company acquiring another and the impact on immigration. So unlike consultants who tend to be one-hit wonders, they understand how to fill out a form and they've gotten good because they've learned off of the backs of all of the clients that they've ruined their lives. When you make a mistake, you learn not to make that same mistake again. So the consultants that have been around a while have made a lot of mistakes. And so they understand the very, very basics of how to file an express entry application. But the difference between a consultant and a lawyer is all of the other nuances that really come down to the legal aspects. Well, a lawyer has a far greater understanding of how those fit. Now, I don't mean to diss all consultants because there's some good ones out there, but the whole consulting regime is a joke. And over the last while, I've seen countless people get screwed over because of consultants that don't know what they're doing, even though they're regulated consultants. And their lives, I can't fix them. And lately, even recently, there's another report of another consultant who is being investigated for rampant fraud, and ICCRC basically has no ability to deal with it. Although in the papers, it sure looks like they're trying. And all they're doing is running scared because I'm hoping that they're all going to be shut down. Okay, I'll let that go. And they're not doing me any favors, so I'm not doing them any favors. Okay, we'll leave that. I think we've basically got, I've covered off most of the questions. I'm just looking here to see if there's anything else. Is there a chance of CRS coming down to 438? Balkaram says, I don't think so. And I probably should do another post on that topic, but I really don't think it is going to come down. Okay. Mohammed says, please paste the link in the comment box. I think I did. I'm not sure which link you're referring to, but I did post the link to the Canadian Immigration Institute guide. Oh, and you know what? Maybe the reason is maybe you can't see the description. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. Okay. Rajaram says, textile company in Canada, job, how to apply. Can't help you there, my friend. I don't do job placement in Canada. I just do immigration. Noman says, hello, sir. I need to the job as an electrician, but no response applied to the job. Can't help you with jobs. Okay. And then Pinnakin says, thanks a lot, Mark. You made it very simple for me to understand. Cheers. You're very welcome, my friend. Okay. I'm wrapping this up. Remember, tell all your friends next Tuesday at noon Mountain Standard Time, Mark Holthe is going to be right back here answering your questions on Express Entry. If you have a question you'd like me to answer, then all you need to do is send an email to mholthe@stringham.ca right there. And don't forget to put EE Live Q&A in the question, and I will respond to those questions right off the bat very first. Okay, guys, thanks so much. And remember, deadline tomorrow, EE DIY guide is coming to an end, 60% off tomorrow. And it will be, after that, it'll be back to monthly subscription at $97 US and full price at $497. So anyone who doesn't purchase it, well, whatever. You can do whatever you want. I know how good it is, and I'm going to get a whole new string of video testimonials from the latest group that have used it. But ultimately, this is an opportunity for you guys. If you take advantage of it now, it'll be well worth your time. And I also want to let you know that every time that someone purchases it, I tell them that they can get a consult for 50% off. So for $105, they can have a consult to answer any questions that are not covered in the course. But I also had someone send me an email today that was really good. And they had some really good questions, and they showed screenshots of what their portal was showing and what my guide was showing, and they were just seeking clarification. So I just took 15 minutes to send them back a response, which was awesome, their question, and I answered all their questions. So, and guess how much extra that cost them? $0. But hey, you guys, the whole intranet is all wide of people wanting to give you information, and you guys can decide whether or not you want to trust it or not. But this is Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-Canadian immigration officer, and former high school teacher, signing off, wishing all of you guys the very best as you're navigating this crazy world that we call Express Entry. Take care. See you later, guys.